I shot this review of the TerraFlex II in the spring, and not long after I shot the review, did I put in a permit application to hike the Grand Canyon rim to rim. Well, I got a permit in May to hike from the north rim to the south rim, so I held off on posting this review until I had done the Grand Canyon hike. It was an awesome hike. I loved it. Hardest thing I've ever done, and incredible. At the end of this review, I'll give you my comments and thoughts wearing the TerraFlex IIs through the Grand Canyon. Are these the best hiking shoes ever? Well, probably not, but they're darn good. These are the TerraFlex IIs from Xero Shoes. They're a brand new style. They had a TerraFlex original. They just came out with this style this year. I picked these up a couple of weeks ago, have probably about 25-30 miles on them right now. Has some new fabric, it's a little more durable, has the same tread pattern that they had on the original TerraFlex. I got them because my Mesa trails from Xero Shoes are starting to wear out. I've got about 650 miles on them at this point. The sole's starting to get wore down. The shoe's starting to get a little bit of separation here on the toe cap. I'm getting a little bit of splitting in the fabric. Shoe is still viable, but it's getting wore out, and it's time to retire those. So I went to go order the Mesa Trails, and I saw the TerraFlex IIs. I thought I would go ahead and pick them up, give them a whirl. First thoughts as soon as I opened the box, the TerraFlex IIs are heavier than my Mesa Trails. They're constructed differently, and they're not quite as flexible. They're pretty flexible, but they're a little stiffer. And that's because the sole is thicker. So on the Mesas, I think they're about a 3 mil, and I think these are about 6 mil. Otherwise, the sole material is the same. The tread pattern is different, but I haven't noticed good, bad, or otherwise. As far as traction on wet, slippery, slimy rocks, it's about the same. If it's super slimy, you're going ice skating like every other shoe I've ever worn. In general, though, they have a really good grip. I have no complaints. They have exactly the same strapping system that you've got on the Mesa Trails, and it binds really tight to pull your foot back into the heel cup if you like. The outside, this ribbon, it's loose, so it can catch on stuff. I haven't had it catch on anything, but if I was really bushwhacking, it might. They have the same wide toe box, so I'm getting a good spread. The other thing I wanted to show you here is the toe cup. So here we've got just all rubber, and here we have, it's a rubber toe cap with then leather over where the tops of your toes are. The one thing that I didn't like about these when I first got them was that this rubber came so far back over my toe that I would feel it as I walked. And as I mentioned before, that annoyed me. Honestly, now after several hundred miles, I don't even notice it at all. But as soon as I threw these on, I didn't feel that. And that was the first thing I thought was, that's sweet. My toes aren't hitting anything. So that was a plus for me. Otherwise, the shoe is generally similar construction. You have the inside is lined with fabric that's completely smooth sewn, so you don't have any hot spots. You can wear these with socks, or you can go without socks for that matter. They're designed to be able to go barefoot. The back of the heel cup, here, see if I can get a good picture of it. The back of the heel cup is nicely padded, and it has some bump outs here that catch. As your heel starts to narrow, it does grab your heel nicely. I never have any trouble with the back of the shoe flip-flopping around on me. They have the standard insole. It's a rubber material which doesn't absorb water. It's super light. It's about a mil and a half. You can wear the shoe without the insert if you want to get just a little bit lighter, a little bit thinner, maybe get a little more ground feel, or you can wear it with the insole. I've been wearing it with the insole, just trying to see how it goes. If you're enjoying the video, give us a thumbs up. If you're not, well, no, I'm just kidding. The Mesa Trails are really designed as a super lightweight, trail running, lightweight backpacking shoe. And the TerraFlex IIs are designed as a mid to lightweight, flexible, barefoot style backpacking and hiking shoe. kind of like these TerraFlex IIs better when I'm on rougher trails where I've got a lot more rock, or a lot, like when we were doing some scree, I didn't feel it as much, the sharp edges. So the shoes protected really the arch of my foot, which is the most tender spot on my foot. If I hit a rock on my arch, it sucks. These shoes are a little more protective. So if I'm doing a lot more rock scrambling, I'm hitting some scree or a lot of just bigger gravel pieces, the TerraFlex IIs are going to be a more comfortable shoe. So if I was to do a long distance hike like the Pacific Crest Trail or something, I'm probably going to wear the TerraFlex IIs. Now, I haven't 100% made up my mind. I want to get a couple 100 miles on these and a couple backpacking trips before I decide. Do me a favor, please don't subscribe to the channel unless you've watched a couple of the other videos and you like my style, you kind of like what we're doing, then go ahead and make your own choice. Okay, the TerraFlex II, awesome shoe. I loved wearing them through the Grand Canyon. They had a lot more rock protection and were a little bit stiffer and heavier than my Mesa Trails. So trade-offs there, right? Not so heavy that it was a big deal, and I didn't lose so much ground feel that I really cared. However, I did notice that, so fair warning there. As far as how they handled the rocks, they did great. I had no trouble for traction. We were hiking on a whole mix of just huge rocks down to these little pebbles and everything in between. I did not have arch strikes with those like I did with my Mesa Trails when I was hiking out in Colorado. So for me, the TerraFlex IIs were a lot more comfortable hiking in that type of a mixed rocky, hard, packed trail type environment. So for me, when I go out to do the PCT, I'm going to take the TerraFlex IIs over the Mesa Trails. Final conclusion, if you want a shoe with a little more protection for the rocks and stuff, go with TerraFlex IIs. If you want a little more ground feel, you want a little bit lighter shoe, go with the Mesa Trails. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.